Have you ever wondered about those who dream of a better life versus those who create it? Are you waiting to accomplish your dreams and goals? Welcome to Create It Now with your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to put your dreams into motion and create it now. The phone lines are open at 731-1230. That's 731-1230. Or toll free 1-866-820-5528. That's 1-866-820-KLAV. Now let's bring on the host and create it now. Here is Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello and welcome to the Create It Now radio show with your host Jonathan Stone and myself, Dawn Elizabeth. And Jonathan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you very much for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, a little under the weather. Have
You
a little bit of
are.
a cold. I don't know if I sound different or not.
You sound like an operator.
I do.
You do. You sound like an operator from the old days, just nasally,
Nice. Yeah.
Lee Tomlin kind of thing.
Hey,
But I like it. It's good.
that's what it is. It improved my singing voice.
Exactly. Anything improves your singing voice.
Exactly.
So we like
It
that.
totally does, yeah. But you know, it's all right.
I
Getting
know.
over the cold.
And we're back, though.
Yes.
We are back in Las Vegas. Beautiful weather. It's been actually kind of nice.
I'm loving it, yeah.
Yeah, we had just a nice trip to California. Got to see some old friends, make some new friends.
Yep, even better weather there. Unfortunately,
Yes.
other parts of the country don't get to feel it.
I know it's pretty cold out there.
Yes. I'm not a fan of the cold.
Yes.
What can you do?
Agreed. So we're not saying right because Lawrence is here today. So yeah, no, it was actually a really good trip, a lot of good business stuff, and very excited. Sherry Watson is back in town,
Mm-hmm.
who started the ADD. She started what I have. Okay.
But she can't help you.
Yeah, I'm lost. I'm a lost soul.
Pretty much.
No, so she's back in town, and we're going to meet with her again later. And we have a really special guest who's flown in today.
Yes.
And a dear friend of yours, and I'm honored that I've met him today. So that's exciting. And then we went to a mastermind this weekend, and we have one of our guests from the mastermind. That'll be a guest on Thursday as well.
Yeah.
So we have I think this week is going to be really exciting, and we have a lot to share. And
Absolutely.
maybe we should even bring Sherry back in tomorrow. If
Maybe.
everybody remembers Sherry Watson.
Yeah.
I mean, her story was so amazing. I mean, she was in a coma for 30 days and came back out, and has created so much change in the world.
Yeah.
You
By
know?
just going out and doing it, taking that action to do it.
Making it happen, getting it
Mhm.
started. I think maybe we'll kidnap her and bring her on the
Yeah.
show. And Tracy, her husband, who we love, who's so
Yes.
behind the scenes and makes things happen,
Yeah.
makes her shine. And he just is just a wonderful, wonderful
Yeah.
person. So
Yeah. Makes it all happen and everything. She has a lot of the vision, and then he helps implement it, which is great.
Right.
Having that team there is going to be a great way to get things done, and
Right.
they've done so much amazing things.
exactly how we talk about when I say I like when things are effortless, when
Yeah.
you have a whole team of people
Yes.
together that have the same vision and want to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start off right in the beginning and you have issues, it's not going to get better.
Yeah.
So you
gonna be
just got
hard.
to start out good,
Yeah.
keep it smooth.
But you got to
and,
move that and take action, The other day I was actually in a meeting and we were talking about that exact thing, and it's like one of my pet peeves, like people will talk and talk and talk, but not do. And it can just, I just can't keep hearing it over and over. And so we were just talking about that, where some people are they keep talking about what they want to do, and they can continue to put money into educating themselves, which is great. You should always be educating yourself, but there's a point you have to also start taking that action
Yes.
and moving forward.
And
with
our
it.
guest is going to talk about that as well. because
Absolutely.
He actually started taking those courses and then took action. And I actually went on a rant last night when we had a meeting about everybody waiting for everybody else to get things started.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of funny because I felt like I was lecturing everybody else going, okay, stop waiting. But I was really talking to myself.
Yeah.
And, about getting that approval from other people
Yeah.
to get going, to get started. And it's like, you know what? Let's just start making this happen. Do it. Everybody will catch up with us. If we're taking
Absolutely.
action, we're making action steps, we're doing it. Let them catch up with us.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Well, that's when I am out on the road speaking and training. That's one of my main messages is you can only change yourself. So take that action. And if other people around you, they'll become influenced by what you do and then catch up with you. Don't wait for them to start, or don't wait for them to do it. You do it.
And I think it's a great crutch. I think we all use that. It's like, oh, as soon as this person gets on board, this is going to happen. And once this person decides it or likes it and they're going to call this other person, just keep going and going and going. And I really had to learn that.
Absolutely. And the right people will show up.
They will. Exactly. When you're making things happen, people do show up. We met some people when we were in L.A. that were just like, they actually gave us a deadline and said, we're there, we will help you, let's get this done.
Yes.
And we're like, wow, we don't even really know them that well, but they saw that what we want to do about making change and taking action, and they're like, get it to us, we'll do it. Done. And it was just like, wow, that was just, and it was a huge piece of a puzzle because we were creating this momentum.
Yeah, and the more you do and the more you're out there, it's going to attract the right people. And we've talked about it before. You have to talk about your ideas and get them out there, but you still have to take action on them. But as you talk more and inform more people, they're going to jump on board with you.
Right. Instead of worrying about, oh, somebody's going to steal my idea. Throw it out there. Who cares if people steal it? If you're going and you're going to make it happen, it's going to happen for you.
Right.
You know, and
there's so much to go around. I mean, I'm in the speaking world, and I was talking about this the other day with someone. There's so much business out there in every aspect that you can share that with other people. Don't think of it as stealing. Think of it as sharing all the work that's out there.
Right. And there's people have so many different topics and point of views. You can always be learning. Yeah. And you learn as you do. I mean, that was like really one of my biggest things yesterday. By having this conversation, I was learning. I was actually, everything that I was saying, I was like, that's me. You know, like after I was like, and it was like almost like not venting, like channeling this, going like, this is what you've done in your life. You've waited for everybody else, and that was your reason that you couldn't do this or you couldn't make it happen. And it was really cool to see that. So sometimes just talking about it or seeing a fault in others, which is actually the fault in yourself, by saying it, you just like go, oh wow, light bulb, aha moment.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely. And that's part of why I'm super excited about our guest that's on today, because he is out there taking action and doing, and then helping other people find that, realize that and be able to make a difference in other people's lives. And he does it because he loves it. Right. It's not, let's go make a buck. It's let's make a difference in somebody's life, which is amazing. And
wanting to help others to accomplish their goals and their dreams as well, I think is really amazing. And I'm really honored that that your dear friend's in here. I'm going to let you bring him on and all that fun stuff. We will bring him into the studio as soon as we come back from our break. We want to let our sponsors speak. You're listening to the Create It Now radio show. Don't forget to find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Dream It, Create It, and we'll be right back.
It's Roxy from the 702 Rock Show, right here at VegasAllNetRadio.com. Listen to my show every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. to hear about local artists, musicians, fashion designers, and more right here in Las Vegas. So tune in every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. to hear me, Michelle Roxy Davis, right here at VANR on the 702 Rock Show.
We're blowing it out at Gene Woods Racing Experience, Las Vegas's newest premier outdoor adrenaline-powered gasoline go-karting track with speeds in excess of 45 miles per hour if you've got the balls. We've got 2-for-1 Tuesdays, buy one and your friend rides free. We've got $5 off coupons. And remember, on your birthday, members ride free. And they get a free Gene Woods Racing Experience t-shirt, open Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. till 11. Saturday and Sunday, noon till 11. And we're located at 121 East Sunset Road in Las Vegas Boulevard at the Sports Center across from McCarran Airport. Come blow the doors off your competition at Gene Woods Racing Experience. Once you race here, you won't go anywhere else. Be there. Be there. Be there. Be there.
This is Les Brown. Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Those of you that are listening, I encourage you to listen to Create It Now, because it will teach you how to live full and die empty, how to begin to manifest your greatness and make your mark.
Create It Now. Continues. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello and welcome back to the Create It Now radio show, where today we have an amazing guest visiting us here in Las Vegas. Rod Bailey, president of LoneStar Inc., is here from Dallas, Texas. And he's a good friend of mine who is helping educate other people on how to invest in their future. LoneStar Inc. provides quality real estate investment solutions for buyers, sellers, and investors. Rod came to a point in his life where he realized he needed to find security for his future and that traditional methods weren't really going to be the answer. So Rod Bailey is here with us today to talk about how to get started on investing in your future and taking action on it.
Yes.
So welcome into studio, Rod. How are you?
Great. Thank you for the introduction. That was much more than I deserve, I'm sure.
No way. I could have gone on and on, but I figured I'd let you talk at some point.
Well, you could have kept going. I'd have been just fine.
I'm
Exactly.
sure. Yeah. So welcome into Vegas. Are you here on a business trip?
Yes, I am. But there's always entertainment in this town. You can find
Absolutely.
something to do, right?
Yeah.
Like be on the show.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Any excuse to
Exactly.
come to Vegas, right?
No.
Oh, not any. Okay. Some excuses.
Yeah, I just want to say something really interesting about Rod. Meeting you today for the first time, and actually you spent the time with my family and myself today and educated us on a lot. So what I think is really amazing and great, and like my parents, their willingness to learn at any age, you can make change in your life. You can learn new things. And as you mentioned earlier about having blinders on, there are the rods out there to help. And I think it's amazing that what you're doing and the way you explained everything and articulated what you do and what you want to achieve and why you do it. I think it's a great story. And so I'm like just blown away by you and just think you're just wonderful. And also all the wonderful things that Dawn said about you.
Well, I
Manage
paid
you.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get your dollar later.
Excellent. Thank
It's
you.
in quarters.
In quarters.
In quarters, yes. No, it was a great meeting, and I really enjoyed meeting your folks. And you're right. I wished I had done what I'm doing now when I was 20 or 30.
It's
Because
like about
then
10 years ago.
Yeah, about 10. Yeah, you bet, about 10 years ago. But, yeah, your future depends on what you do now.
Right.
And you need to start in
Yeah.
one way, in something. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you have a goal in your mind or a dream, you just got to start. And if you want to get to that end result, it's where you start today. So you are ending up where you're planning on going.
Right. But a lot of people, they thought, and because of the economy, they thought they were set and they knew where they were going. And then circumstances hit. It changes your whole world, and you're like, now what? And then people are so terrified, and then also looking for quick fixes and doing different things. Instead of taking action, they're waiting and waiting and waiting. And
Because of
instead
that
of constantly
scared
going,
factor.
yeah, that fear factor's there. Then you go inside your head, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And so today, I really appreciate how you explained it and all the reasons why, and really made it cohesive so to understand how people can make change in their life. And doing small investments, or you don't have to wait to do $100,000 or $1 million thing or build a company, teaming up with others and to do like joint ventures.
Yeah, it's fun. It's something that I enjoy doing, and we've had a lot of fun putting people together. I'm surprised you mentioned the fear. Several years ago, I heard that terminology, that false evidence appearing real.
Right.
I had never heard that before, and it just kind of struck a chord. And, yeah, I know when I first started looking around and said, oh, gee, here I am now at a certain age, and I've got a family, and I'm going to have to provide more for them because I'm not single anymore, and I can't just enjoy life day to day. I got to plan for the future. And I started looking around, well, what's out there? everybody's got a book. Everybody's got a CD they want to sell you. Everybody's got an idea. You know, and I'm going, oh, my goodness, you know, where do you start?
Yeah.
And so just through a process of reading some things here, reading some things another place, trying to put them together, asking a lot of questions, you know, I came up with the idea for myself. It wasn't a new idea, but for myself, that traditional, conventional investing was probably not the answer for me. And fortunately, it's been very good to our family. We've done very well with non-traditional investing methods, and our niche, so to speak, is real estate. And a few years ago, we had the opportunity to bring a couple of people in on one of the deals we were doing that they didn't have a lot of money, but I knew them personally. They're good people. They just were very frustrated with making a little bit of money in a CD at a bank. And so they wanted to know if they could piggyback along with what I was doing. And, of course, there's legal things you have to be careful about how you do. And so we checked with our lawyers and made sure that everything was set up correctly. And, yes, you know, we did the first deal together. And I think I shared with you, one of them's wife brought an apple pie over or whatever, you know. But it just worked. I had fun doing it. And then, it was just like, hey, this is something I would rather do more of than trying to just get out there and make the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's been fun. We've had an opportunity to help some people along the way.
And I like how you said it's fun. It should be fun. You should enjoy what you're doing. Instead of, I have to do this, or this is what someone else is doing, or whatever it is, you want to make sure that you do enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, you're going to be able to be in it more and be able to really care about it and secure your future better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a saying that I really like, and I did bring these with me because I can't just totally remember all of them. But, this one was, it's not the days in your life, it's the life in your days.
Yes.
So,
I like that.
Yeah, get up every day and enjoy it because you're not guaranteed anything past this moment.
Right.
So what I was wondering, too, so that when you did the first deal with your friends, until it really came to fruition and they got paid back, were you kind of stressed out about it? Like, I don't want to let these people down. Were you worried about it at all?
Jonathan, I wore out a calculator on that deal, and we were only talking about making $100 a piece, but it was frustrating. Because I had this big fear, what's going to happen if this goes belly up on us, and these people are going to come after me with a gun or whatever, because I do live in Texas, everybody's packing. And, I was fearful. And, but my wife just laughed at me, and she did. She's been a great supporter.
That's great.
She said, you've got this down, go for it. You know what you're doing, just be confident and go for it. And sure enough, it was a piece of cake once I got into it. But I did. I literally almost wore a calculator out on that thing, just trying to figure out if we were each going to get $100 out of this deal.
Yeah.
We could have gone to dinner and had a better time.
Right. So I'm sure there were sleepless nights, making sure that formula works. Not because it was your own money, then that's okay, but somebody else's. I mean, that's, wow. Because you hear about all this stuff that's going on, too, and, there's got to be a lot of,
Well, there is, and I think I shared with y'all earlier, my dad was a car salesman for most of his life, and the one thing I learned from him was integrity, and I really remembered him coming in of an evening just really being frustrated because some other, quote, car dealer had, just pretty much taken somebody to the bank on some deal and given them a bad name, and he said, I fight that every day. Well, in our real estate investment group back in the Dallas area that we meet once a week, we've discussed that because there are unscrupulous operators out there that just make us look bad. They do things that just aren't right. They take advantage of people, and it's just frustrating to see that. So we just decided to go the other direction. We're on board with everything. We keep everything above board. It's all very legal that we do. We share it with everyone, and if it's not a deal that we think everybody can share in and make some money, we walk away from it, and we sleep at night.
That's
but
the best thing.
The best part of the whole thing, though, Jonathan, is our theory is, and I love to do this, every time we finish a deal, somebody's got a house to sleep in.
That's great. That's great. That's really important.
Somebody's got a place to sleep tonight because of something we put together, and something they can afford.
Right.
We're not selling them some loan that 5 years from now they're going to lose their house.
Right.
It works for everybody.
Yeah, it
involved.
works for everybody.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. If it's a win-win-win all the way around, then even if it's not the biggest deal, it's not the get rich quick, right? But it's secure for everybody involved, and then you can go and do that again and again.
Yeah,
and again.
Learn how and start off small. And I mean, I'll bring it up, but like Dawn, I mean, you're a real estate investor, and you started out with Rod believing in you, and you believing in your dream, and you've done well.
Yeah, we've done some business together, and that's how we've known each other over the years and stay in touch, even though we don't do as much anymore because I'm not in the real estate realm as much. Then we're still friends from it. It's not just this guy I did business with.
Right.
It was a relationship built. And the one thing when we first got into business together that really sticks out in my mind was, even though I was that new person coming in, he wanted to check me out, make sure I was a good person to do business with on his end, not just any person that he can,
Right.
Tom, Dick, or Harry. It was, I need to make sure that you're a good person to do business with on my end as well.
That you have integrity.
Yeah, and I thought that was
That's
a great idea.
Yeah, there are people that we have walked away from, or that we have said, no, we don't want to bring our group into a deal with you.
When somebody brings a suitcase full of cash and goes, here, just don't ask, invest it.
Let me know where that guy is.
Yeah.
Well, but our niche, so to speak, over the last couple of years has slowly developed itself quite by accident. But it is trying to show people without a lot of money how they can actually do something better than what your traditional banks or IRA, savings account, money market accounts, etc. And I'm not saying those are bad. Everybody needs a base. I've got a savings account. I got a checking account, just like everybody else. But there are better ways out there that you can make more return on your investment, and it will help you have something more in the future.
Mm-hmm. And what age do you think people should get started with figuring out what type of investment is?
Boy, Dawn, I tell you, that's the biggest issue I have in my mind is I think that we as a country, and a lot of people preach this same thing, have dropped the boat. The education process should have started in grade school. Mm-hmm. And there are some parents that I know that have children in grade school that I think are doing the right thing. They're actually, quote, the allowance they get for doing their chores, and they're making them put so much of it into a savings account and so much is for just spending, and that way they can see it grow, and they're making them take it and put it in the bank. I remember the first little boy, just crying because he had to put his money in the bank. He wanted to keep it, Yeah. But if we could start, the younger you can start, the better off you are. Mm-hmm. It's the pyramid effect. Stuff's going to grow, and the sooner you get started, the better. Right now, we're really looking more at the young adult. We were talking earlier. That's the thing that's after my passion at the moment, I guess, or so to speak, is I see so many that are just making it day to day. And, they have good jobs. They've gone to college, or some of them haven't, but I mean, they have good jobs. They're smart. They have this technology things that I don't have, but they're just day to day and they're just struggling. And of course, society has kind of done that to them a little bit because things are just expensive. You can't live cheap like I used to when we got married. Like I was telling you earlier, we made $250 a month. Thought we were making it, man. We were great.
Yeah.
But, we had a 10 by 50 trailer house we were living in. It cost us like $50 a month or whatever. But, the younger they can start, the better. We're looking at starting a group now there in our hometown with several young adults that have expressed interest in learning. They want to know more about what can I do to prepare for the future.
Yeah.
And this is not something that, I don't want to go out and write a book or start a program or sell CDs or DVDs or any of that kind of stuff. We're just going to start out sitting down and see where everybody is, and we'll go from there and, gain some support. I've had some other people that are very business savvy. Some of them are business owners that have expressed, hey, I'll be glad to help you. Come visit, answer some questions or whatever. So I'm hoping it can grow into something pretty good.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And I was just thinking about something, because when you get, the young adults, and they might sit there and go, I don't have enough money, and how you partner people up. But maybe you can make one fund with a whole bunch of people, and as one of the partners. So you get 10 friends, they get their friends together, but one person would be on the lead of it. and they're all doing this together.
Grow
So,
as a group,
grow as a group,
community.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. You know, an example in my industry would be like if 5 of them wanted to purchase a little rental house or something. It was one of the really small one in a small area that they could buy very cheap. You know, they all 5 would be on the deed of that house for a certain percentage. And, you know, they could learn by, you know, they collect the rents get paid, the expenses get paid. If there's anything left over, they get paid.
Right.
And, you know, learn as you grow. But there's all kinds of opportunities like that. It's just, like you all said a while ago, take action. And if you never start, you're never going to get there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, you know, and starting may just be, you know, we use the analogy many a time, starting may just be quit going to Starbucks every day and buying that coffee. You know,
Yeah.
you can get it up some other place a little cheaper, or just make it at
Make it
home.
home. There
Right.
you go.
You can get the Starbucks coffee and have it at home. I mean, you can brew it.
Yeah.
They do offer that option.
They do, yeah, and it's good.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it is a part. We do have to take a quick break, but we want to come back and continue with Rod and talk more about the real estate side of really securing your future. You're listening to the Create It Now radio show. Don't forget to check us out at www.createitnowmedia.com, and we'll be right back.
Ben Bella Books is a publishing boutique that aims to be the publisher of choice for a select group of authors. Authors who value personal attention, a partnership philosophy, flexibility, and a creative approach to marketing. Ben Bella Books is a fast-growing, market-focused publishing house whose success is based on a few simple principles. They select their titles with care. They provide their authors with first-class service and partnership. And they provide aggressive, creative marketing for each title they publish. Find out more at benbellabooks.com. BEN BellaBooks.com. And if you're a reader, check out the many great titles available at benbellabooks.com.
It's an idea whose time has come. Full Circle Couture is the fashionable way to exchange and recycle clothing. Full Circle Couture sells all kinds of new and gently used clothing and accessories. They accept donations and exchanges for in-store credit. And Full Circle Couture donates the items they can't use to local charities. We support teachers through discounts and donations. Come to donate, stay to shop. Full Circle Couture at 9440 West Sahara, Suite 170, just west of Fort Apache. Find out more at fccfullcirclecouture.com. That's FCC Full Circle Couture, COUTURE.com.
You're listening to the Create It Now Radio Network. This is Larry Benet, the connector. Invest in your network, and the network will invest back into helping you. The more connection currency you create, the faster you get whatever you want in business and life. You're listening to the Create It Now Radio Network.
Those who can do. This is Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello and welcome back to the Create It Now radio show, where we are talking with Rod Bailey, who is the president of LoneStar Enterprise Inc., company that provides quality real estate investment solutions for buyers, sellers, and investors. And Rod is also really all about educating people on taking action on investing in their future. And Rod's main focus for himself and the people that he works with is real estate. And a question I had for you, Rod, was what are some of the different real estate ideas out there? You know, a lot of people know about they can buy their own home and they can buy a rental property, but I know there's a lot more to it. I've learned a lot over the years and you've taught me a lot. And what are just some of those other options out there?
Well, you know, it's a new world to everybody when you start out. I was just like everybody else. I was like, well, how do I buy my own house? You know, how do I get it out of this rental property or out of an apartment or whatever? But, you know, it's an endless opportunity, I guess is the best way to say it. You know, there's single-family housing, which is the normal, and a lot of people will purchase those for rental properties, and that's good. It's good cash flow. which, you know, is money after all the bills are paid. You get a little bit of money in your pocket every month, and you're gaining some equity in the property over the years to the time that you decide to sell it. It's similar to what you've done, Dawn, with one of your deals. And, you know, from there, you know, you can have multi-units, maybe a duplex. I know a lot of people that will purchase a duplex, live in one side, and rent out the other to help pay for the mortgage on it. You know, trailer parks. Seriously, I have a lady that I do some stuff with that she has just purchased her first one and has made an offer on her second one. And it's just, she started out just buying an old trailer in a trailer park that somebody drove off and abandoned. She found out who owned it, got a hold of them, made them an offer, got it title to it free and clear, went in, cleaned it up, and then sold it to someone to live in and carried the paper on it. So there's owner financing that's out there, and all of these have laws that you have to be very careful with about how you do them. Then you move up to like apartment complexes. You can move into the realm of commercial investing for you know, shopping center areas, even vacant property. Some people would buy that and hold it, knowing that a town's growing in that direction, planning on making their money off of it on the other end of the deal. You know, they always say in real estate that you make your money on the buy, but you collect your money on the sell. Yeah, and there's a lot of truth to that. And there are other things that we've gotten into that I wasn't aware of several years ago, but it's things you hear about hard money and hard money lending, or traditional transition lending, or some people call that bridge loans. And instead of going through a bank, you go through a private entity or private investors, or to some individual that has some money and they're wanting to do something with it, as opposed to putting it into a savings account at a bank or whatever, and make a little more interest on it. So in that scenario, as an example, there's a company that we work with. They rehab houses, turn around and then sell them to someone to live in, or they may sell them to another investor that wants it for a rental property for his portfolio. So they find the property, they'll call us and say, we need so much money to purchase it, so much to repair it. You know, we'll pay you an X amount interest rate for a period of 3 to 6 months, sometimes 7 or 8. We've never had anything go past 7 or 8 months before they get it sold. We loan them the money. They pay us interest on that money every month. When they sell the property, title company at closing sends us our money back. And then we'll find another and do another one. So we've continually just had, that's just been a rolling process. And as an example, you go down and try to do something in a savings account, you might be good to get 1% these days. You know, I don't even look at the rates. I don't know. I know they're not good. But, you know, we don't do anything that doesn't make us 10%. Yeah. And you want 1 or you want 10? You know, you want 1 Girl Scout cookie or you want 10? I want 10 if they're tag-alongs.
Yeah, exactly.
So those are things that we have found, and we've been able to put people together that didn't have large sums of money, but together we could put enough in there to where we could do something like this. Right. And some of these are not large. They're not huge investments. Now, we can do them as big as we need to, but we've even loaned as much as $20,000, you know, to a guy, and he found a little old house that was run down. He bought it for a sheriff's sale for like $5,000. Put another $5,000 or $10,000 in it, whatever. He needed 20. Yeah. And I think he sold the property later for something like 40 or 50,000. Well, that's fine if you want to do that. If you want to be the flipper, as you see on HGTV and all that, there's people that do that. They do a great job at it. We don't want to do that. That's just not our area of expertise. Right. So we will loan them the money to go do their deal, and then they pay us back.
Yeah. And it's interesting, one of the biggest things that I had learned, it was an eye-opener for me, was traditional banks versus non-traditional type of lending, which once that seeped into my own brain, it was an eye-opener, and that's how I realized I could do real estate and do more real estate than what I've learned about previous to that, you know, just the get a house and live in your house and go to the bank for your loan, and that was what I knew. That was it, you know.
That's what majority of people know.
Yeah,
that's what you're
exactly.
taught. Mortgage.
I think the thing that opened my eyes, that just really started a whole new world for me, was I was at a seminar and they were discussing IRAs, and then they made the comment that the largest untapped base for investing is people who have some small 401k or an IRA from some job that they used to be at, and some people may have 2 or 3 of those. And they never roll them together to wherever they are now. And so I'm sitting there listening, and I'm thinking, okay, fine, but, I've got a 401k. At that time I'm thinking, but all they'll let me do is buy stocks, bonds, mutual funds, money market account. So why are you telling me this? I'm at a real estate seminar, and this guy's standing up there telling me this. And then he tells me the true deal. There are legitimate security companies in the U.S. that will allow you to be custodian of your account, and you can purchase real estate with your IRA money. And I'm going, really?
Nice.
So then I started kind of looking into that. And so for some of the older investors, they've come to me with their IRAs and said, can we do this? And I said, yeah, certainly, if you'd like. And so we have some people that do that. And we have some younger ones that have come in, and said, well, I've got a small one.
Yeah.
And so we've shown them how to do it, and we actually take them right through the process of setting up the paperwork to get it transferred to the company and what it'll cost them, and then what they can do with it afterwards if they so choose. And if they want to do one, we'll fill all the forms out for them and help them out. And that's just another source that people don't think about. They just think, well, I've got this money over here, but it's not doing anything.
Right. And I can't touch it till I'm X years old.
Yeah, which is good, because if you did, you wouldn't have any money when you're X years old.
Exactly.
But I think one thing's really interesting. Rod, you talk about all the paperwork. So you've actually had to learn over time how much, there's a lot of paperwork, and probably your legal bills to learn how to do this must have been crazy. Now that, a lot of people, that's probably one thing that they're afraid of too. It's like, what's the right paperwork? What's the wrong paperwork? What's legal? What's not legal? How much is, and the lawyers are out there wanting to take that money. Because I've done deals where the lawyers made more money than I have. So, you've probably spent a lot of money in legal fees, and now with your expertise, you could save a lot of people that.
Well, we did spend a considerable amount of money to get our company set up and to learn what we were doing. We actually used a company here in Las Vegas to do our entities, which is set up our corporation and some LLCs that we've done. And what I've enjoyed about using them is they were very honest and open. They told me exactly what we needed to do. They also told me what we didn't need to do. They also told me, you don't need to spend this money here, but you do need to spend it here. So basically, I felt like I wasn't being sold something I didn't need. And they've been very good from that point forward to help us in other areas. But then on the other side, when it came to the first couple of deals and we got nervous about the legalities, we interviewed lots of attorneys will tell you out there, I'm a real estate along with everything else. But you really need to find a true attorney that deals in real estate. And we interviewed several. And then we found a couple through visiting with other investors or whatever that we felt like were on board with what we were trying to do. And they've been extremely helpful. And up front, we did spend some money. Also, that learning curve on the paperwork was fun, let me tell you.
Sure.
But it's, and I'll be honest with you, I had to do paperwork in my first career. Didn't like it. Still don't. But, we get it done so we can move on and go to the next thing. But when you think about using that money up front for your legal fees, et cetera, always think about something Warren Buffett said, or I always do. He made, I can't quote him exactly, but it was something to the effect of, I don't mind spending some money to know that my money's safe.
That's
something
great.
to that effect.
No, that's very
and so
smart.
I kind of use that flow. I don't mind paying some legal fees, getting somebody to help me with some paperwork or whatever to make sure this is correct, that what I'm doing is correct. Yeah. But once you get past that first one, it's a piece of cake after that. Right. It really is,
So that's what I'm trying to express, so people understand that after you get past the first one and you deal with this and keep going with it, then it becomes easier. But you probably have to also still keep up with what's going on, new rules, new laws, new legislation. Different states have, what I just found out in Vegas, we were at this event the other day, people used to have properties and would rent them out, like timeshares.
Would rent them out as
Vacation homes. And then the Strip didn't like that. They passed legislation, said, you can't do short-term rentals out here.
In certain areas, so they... And there's just, you have to keep up on that stuff. Otherwise, you're not in with the laws that are out there and whatnot. So you have to be careful. You got to know it. Surrounding yourself with people who know it is what's going to help you succeed in that area.
Yeah, you can't, in my opinion, you can't really accomplish anything that's a goal in your life without some support. You've got to have a support system.
Agreed.
And the more people you can get, the more you're going to learn. Mm-hmm. And, I remember the stories about Ford when he was building his automobiles. And apparently at one point in time he was appearing on I don't know if it was a Senate committee or he was some court case or whatever, and they said this attorney was, well, how do you do this and how do you do that and how do you do this and how do you do that? And Henry Ford was sitting there saying, well, I don't know how. And the guy goes, so you don't know how to do any of the stuff in your factory? And he said, I don't have to. I have that man to handle that, that man and that person to do this, that person to do this. And so that's the way it is. I don't know everything. Gee whiz about my business. I go ask, and
people will tell you.
Yes.
I mean, people will help you. If you really ask, people will help you. And I'm going to say my saying, which I always say, but I say, if you're not good at something, allocate responsibility to somebody that's better at something than you're good at. Yeah,
absolutely.
And really, that's where I talked about being effortless, having that support team, having people that know and that are willing to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. You can't do it yourself. Right. As much as a lot of us really want to do everything on our own, you're never going to get anywhere.
But start doing it, though.
Start
learning.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a wealth of information out there as well. I mean, you could sit there and go, until that expert pops up, go do research.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait.
Absolutely.
Start, and that person will come. And it'll be so funny because if I wanted to know about real estate investment, or like even with my parents, we were talking about it, didn't know anything about it, talking to Dawn, and she's like, oh, I have my friend, and we've done this stuff together. I'd like to introduce you. Mm-hmm. And he didn't come to sell, just actually to talk to us and to share and to give knowledge. And now I know so much more just from our breakfast meeting today that I would ever have known. And it's probably Rod has spent probably tons of money in courses and times in courses, and he taught me in like an hour, so much information.
The start to it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and just real quick, though, also for other people who want to start learning, I know, Rod, you have a website for people that they could go and start learning some information.
Yes, our website is www.LoneStar.inc.com, and that basically just gives you an overview of what we do with our company. Mm-hmm. And if you really want to just email me and ask other questions, it's rod@LoneStar-Inc.com. And I'll be glad to answer any questions you have. That's not a problem. The more people we can help, the better off we are in the whole country.
We really appreciate that. And people, too, if they want to email us at createitnowmedia.com, we'll pass things off to Rod as well
absolutely.
If you have questions.
And we'll put your information on the website as well as and on Facebook, social media, so that everyone can get a hold of you where they need to, when they need to, and they have more questions.
That's great.
Once you get your campaign going, I'm helping young people and how you can do that. We'd love to be part of that, and if we can branch out and help you out here in different cities, so we can get it across the nation.
Oh, we're looking forward to it. Yeah, it's a grassroots thing, and we're looking forward to doing it because I want to see people be successful. I mean, I don't care what they're doing, but be successful at it. And I don't remember who said it, but some people dream of success while others wake up every day and work hard at it.
Yes.
So you got to do something. Mm-hmm. You can't just sit there.
You have to do it. You have to at least take action somewhere,
Putting it out there.
Yeah. So we do have to take our last break for the day, and then we'll come back, finish up with Rod Bailey. You're listening to the Create It Now radio show. Check out the website, www.createitnowmedia.com, and we'll be right back.
The best television isn't on television. It's on the internet. Log on to realwisdomtv.com for thousands of hours of motivational and inspiring content. On demand, all the time. Unlike network television with its sex, drugs, and rock and roll, realwisdomtv.com provides wellness, wealth, and wisdom. From how to read faster to creating greater wealth, realwisdomtv.com is for you. The learning never stops, and neither does realwisdomtv.com. Log on now to realwisdomtv.com.
This is Les Brown, Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Those of you that are listening, I encourage you to listen to Create It Now, because it will teach you how to live full and die empty, how to begin to manifest your greatness and make your mark.
Join the conversation with the Create It Now radio team every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on KLAV AM 1230.
Find us now at www.createitnowmedia.com.
My name is Brandon Shia, and you're listening to Create It Now.
Welcome back to Create It Now. Join the conversation at 702-731-1230 or email create@createitnowmedia.com. Here again, your hosts, Jonathan Stone and Dawn Elizabeth.
Hello, and welcome back to the Create It Now radio show, where we are talking with Rod Bailey, the president of LoneStar Enterprises, Inc. And if you missed any part of today's conversation, don't forget you can re-listen tonight at 11 p.m. on VegasAllNetRadio.com or check out the archived version at www.createitnowmedia.com. And so Rod's here from LoneStar Enterprises, Inc., where they provide quality real estate investment solutions for buyers, sellers, and investors. And we've had a great conversation about really investing in your future and really being able to, you know
Take action.
Yeah, being able to take action on it, because you have to do it now. And you have to start now if you really want to invest in your future. You can't wait till the future's here.
Future is here.
Now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, there it is.
Wait, no, it's
but
here
that was
now.
the past. Now, wait.
So you got to start now. Take that action and really educate yourself and do what you can to create a secure future for yourself.
Don't wait for others.
And you've got to not be afraid of failure. You know, you're not always going to come out on top first time you try something.
Mm-hmm.
But the only people that don't fail are the ones that never try.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and you hear that all the time, but it's true.
It's true.
If you don't ever try, you know, yeah, you're not going to fail.
Yeah. And the one thing we touched on, you had touched on actually, Rod, a little earlier, was something we've talked about in the past, is also, too, when it comes to real estate itself, it's you make money when you buy, but you don't get the money till the end. You don't get the actual investment part back. But having that exit strategy, going into it knowing where you're going to come out, so that way it takes a little bit of that fear away, because you know what your plan is. You know where you're going to go with it. Not just let me buy this duplex and then hope something happens. You know what you want to do with it and where your exit strategy is. And we talk a lot about that in any part of your life. What is that exit strategy?
Yeah, and as in real estate, just as in life, you really want to have multiple exit strategies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first one you had planned may not work out, so it's good to have that second one or that third one.
Yeah.
You know, we normally have like 3 exit strategies in our
Yeah, but I don't know about in life if I want to have an exit strategy.
Hard, I meant in ventures that you do.
Oh, okay.
I've seen you drive. You might want to think about that.
Exactly. Because I'm following Dawn.
You might want to think about that.
Yeah. Apparently, I've learned today, don't follow me on the roads.
Please.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you really need to know that stuff to help. And that's part of your education process, is knowing what exit strategies you could have when you get into all the different type of real estate that you've mentioned. There's so much more out there than what people may think, and you want to know how to get out as well as get into those.
And one thing, Dawn, I would want to kind of warn people about is you know, just be careful. You can read all day long about how to make money in real estate, et cetera, and somebody's always trying to sell you a book or a CD or something, but you know, just study it, know what you're doing. But, you know, just be careful. But if you want to get in, it's a good way to make some money and to build your future. And it's a long uphill battle. It doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
I think one thing that I really learned today, if you don't have the money, that shouldn't stop you. Look for a deal that's out there. There are people that will help you, that will take a risk with you, that will believe in you. And I think that's really amazing for people to know, so that they should be more conscious that if they found a deal, or maybe it was one of their relatives that, left them a house or something, some way to flip it, they have to fix it up and then sell it. There is help. If the bank's saying no, there are people that can help you.
Absolutely.
And so, people shouldn't have that fear. Just go, if I find it and I bring this deal to somebody, they're going to pretty much take it if it's a good deal, if they've thought it out. And that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely. It's about building that team, like we were saying earlier, having the right people around you and the right people who can do the different pieces that need to be done. You're going to be able to get it done, and with that less fear inside of it. Yeah?
I like it.
Me too.
And always be positive with it. It's the worst thing is a negative attitude about anything. You know.
Exactly. And while we were at commercial break, you had a great quote, and I'd love for you to share.
Yeah, we like to do that. It's we cannot change the times in which we live, which we can't. We can only strive to make them better.
Yeah.
And, I like to think about that pretty much every day. I got that in my truck, and I like to look at it because it's true. Let's just try to make today a little bit better than yesterday.
Yep.
And maybe just for somebody. The guy at the coffee shop today that walked up and jokingly I commented about how sharp he looked.
Yeah.
And then tripped him.
Yeah, you tripped him. But that made his day.
Yeah.
And we were joking, I could have just said, well, that's an ugly tie, and it would have ruined his day. So always be positive with it.
And which is weird because that's the person that listens to our show every day. The tie guy from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rod.
Nice.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah. But yeah, it's your choice of how you want to see your day and how you want to move forward with it. So, really with the economy out there now, we could choose to continue to sulk in it and continue to complain about what has happened to us, or we can start taking action and create that future for ourselves. It's up to us. If we want to do it, awesome, and make a better future, awesome. If we don't, awesome. It's your choice.
I know I'm motivated and inspired now.
Absolutely.
Well, no, I've learned, I'll be honest, I was, it's like you know, and you don't, well, you don't. And I had really no idea about real estate. And I've learned so much today that I don't have a fear of it anymore. If I heard about a property, I heard about something good, there's ways to make it happen. I don't have to go, oh, my God, I got to go to a bank and do this. There's people I can call, and now friends, that you've introduced that go, hey, what do you think about this? And make it happen and get it done.
Yeah. Just knowing what's out there, seeing all the options, seeing what you can do. And that's in anything, really, which there's always more than one way to do something. So if you're looking at it going, oh, I can't do that, there might be another way you could do it.
Well, it's hard to do by yourself. We talked about that earlier. So, the old adage, there's strength in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There's strength in numbers. So the more more help you can get, or the more people you can get together, look at the thing, discuss it. It may be something you want to walk away from, or it may be something you want to go forward with, because somebody is going to know someone else who may be an attorney that you need, or someone may know the electrician that you might need, or someone may know a carpenter that you may need, or someone may know a bank that will really loan you that money.
Exactly.
You've got to build a network. You can't just sit around and just wait for it to come to you. You've got to seek it out.
Go out there and do it.
Right. Like I just want to.
And thank you, Rod, for joining us today. You can learn more about Rod and what he's doing at LoneStar Inc.com. And you're listening to the Create It Now radio show. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to check out the website at www.createitnowmedia.com and check us out every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Dream big, take action, and create it now.
Have an amazing day.